A personal and profound relationship with the Australian landscape is the way ceramic artist Pippin Drysdale's work has been described, and in her unique pieces one can indeed sense the beauty and texture of the deserts of her native Western Australia. Long recognised around the world, Pippin Drysdale is today one of Australia's most outstanding ceramicists.
The interesting thing of being an artist is that sometimes you have a day or a time when you work on pieces and you're just there, so involved and so enjoying doing it, that when you finish the process of doing that work, you think, oh, that was such fun, I had such a good time, and it seemed so easy. And quite often, those are the gems that come out of your studio. Well, I think that I'm a funny old chook. I do like a challenge, and clay does give you an amazing challenge. The vessel or the bowl is one of the most challenging things that you can ever throw, because the balance and the ratio to the height, to the width, and the way it stands, the way it floats, the way you look into and look out. Every vessel you make, you want it to have a sense of the vessel still continuing. You don't want it to stop. So it just has to float. And so it's a big challenge all the time, trying to make a beautiful vessel. It's always a challenge. 30 years ago, an amazing person walked into my life, and he loved making pots. So we used to rush around. We had a 1-ton truck, and we used to rush around to all the private school fetes and flog all our herbs and pots, which kept us going financially in those days. And sadly, after a year or so, that relationship finished, and I was quite devastated. So I locked myself away here for a number of weeks, making coiled wine goblets and little bowls and things. I had no idea about clay. He'd built a lovely little wood kiln out the back. I had no idea how to fire it. He'd managed to do it, so I thought I could do it all. So I filled this kiln up with all these pots I'd made over a period of number of weeks, got the wood in and started stoking it, and within about 2 hours I just heard bang, bang, bang and blew the entire kiln up. So I thought, well, maybe I should go and learn about clay. So I enrolled at Perth Tech, and I've never looked back since. I've had a great advantage over the years that I've had lots of wonderful trips and journeys to different cultures, and so it's enabled me to go out of the studio and go into another space or place. Some years ago, I went off on an amazing journey at the age of 50 up into the heart of Australia, sitting on a plane, looking out a window, absorbing so many different areas of the landscape from an aerial perspective. Just put it into a focus for me that I could relate to. It gave me just this kaleidoscope of wonderful vision of breakaway country, just blobs of green everywhere, wonderful infinity in the deserts, lines, colours, shadows. It just reinforced that I could actually work in a much more abstract way with my work, depicting the Australian landscape. And it's taken me 10 years to still express it in some way with my work. Now, of course, over this past year or so, I've started developing the closed form. It takes a long time to actually put pieces together and create these installations. I have to actually play with them like modules to create what I want to create, with the different hue changes, the different scale from small to large, the variation between vessel and closed form and open form. And so I then create them. It's wonderful to move from the single object and to create sculptural work as well as the vessel, and bring them together and create that nice sense of topography and that feeling of the Australian landscape. it's taken me a long time to feel confident to work in a much more minimal way. It's much easier to take a more dynamic, fun approach to ceramics and to actually make the pure form sing with a minimal subtlety, with colour and line. I feel it will never go out of date, and it does have a timelessness. As an artist on a long journey, and a committed one, everything you do is an evolution. You gradually evolve and move and stretch, and as long as you're not working in the safe zone, it's really, really important to always feel anxious, to always feel uncomfortable, because if you don't feel anxious and uncomfortable, then you're not evolving, you're not developing these nuances. I just hope I've got another good 10 or 20 years in me. I'm sure they'll take me out in a body bag here. This is my love, this is my passion, this is my commitment. And knowing that people nationally and internationally are wanting my work, I mean, how lucky is that? I mean, that's an artist's dream, and I've just had a wonderful journey with my ceramics.
I'd love a couple of those in my living room. And if that's piqued your interest in all things ceramic, the Australian Ceramics Triennial is coming to Sydney, July the 16th.